if you have an iPad and a Procreate account, you can actually create your own wallpaper that is super aesthetic, like the ones I'm putting on the screen, and you can even sell them if you want. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to create them. All you're gonna need to create these wallpapers in today's video with me is your iPad, a Procreate app on your iPad, and if you have an Apple Pencil, that's a bonus. If not, we can literally do it without one, and I will show you just how easy it is in under 10 minutes. So, all you're gonna need is a Procreate, like I mentioned. So we are gonna go into Procreate, and what we're gonna do first is just get a little bit familiarized with the app. You can see I do fun little drawings sometimes. I just kind of play around and do whatever. This is one of the Aura wallpapers I've created. This is another one, but we are just going to start from scratch. So because I'm gonna make this wallpaper the size of my screen, of course, I'm going to select screen size when you hit the plus button there. So that's what you're gonna do too. And you're gonna be left with this blank screen. So basically on this side, this is the brush size. So you can kind of draw it to see how you want it. This is the opacity. So you can see if you want it kind of less opaque, more opaque, whatever you want. So next, you're gonna want to get familiar with this button here, which is layers. So you can see I accidentally drew something a second ago, but the first layer, the second layer, and you're gonna wanna know layers because we're gonna separate it for each Aura wallpaper because there's different layers to make certain designs. So we will do that in a moment, but I'm just gonna erase this first so that we can kind of start anew. So first things first is you are going to want to get familiar with the brushes too. After I just said, let's get familiar with the other stuff, but you also want to know the brushes. I tend to use Studio Pen. That's my favorite, but there's other ones like Dry Ink. So a lot of these pens I use a lot. And then if you go into recents, you'll see I use Studio Pen, I use Monoline, Ink Bleed, Dry Ink, Spectra. So these are just a bunch of them. But for the sake of this video, let's do Studio Pen. So if that's what you want to use, if you want to use a different one, it really doesn't matter. It's just going to change a little bit of the design, like slightly, not really. So I first want to pick a background color. And as you can see, I have it set on pink. I love pink. It's like my favorite color. So we are gonna go to the background and you're just going to go around here and select a color that you like. So I said pink. So let me see what kind of shade of pink I'm wanting to go for. And this is what I'm liking, kind of a light, medium light pink. So that is what we are going to start with. Now, the reason why I said you're going to want to get familiar with layers is because we want to separate each layer here. So the background's one layer, and now we're going to go into our second layer. This usually appears automatically when you're creating a design, but the second layer is going to be similar to the pink, but I'm going to go slightly darker. So now I am going to just make sure we're on that layer, and I'm going to drag this a little bit more here. And you can see the color right there is what it's going to look like. So now I'm going to draw a giant circle, and if you hold it, it'll make it perfect for you. And if it's not centered, all you're gonna do is hit this tool right here, and you can move that around a little bit to make it more centered to your liking. So now I have that pink circle. I'm gonna fill the circle by pressing on that layer and dragging it here, and now you have it. So that is really, really fun. And then next, I am going to go back into layers and I'm going to hit the plus button and make another layer. And this color is going to be that light pink again. And we are just going to go in with a smaller circle here in the middle. It's just to separate these layers and these circles, and you'll see why later. And then again, I'm going to drag the color to this circle. So now you have this circle. It doesn't really look like anything nice yet, but all you're going to do is go to this tool here. It looks like a pencil with stars. Press on that. So there's a bunch of different ones. We're going to play around with a few of the different ones. There's Glitch, Liquify. There's a bunch of fun ones, but one of my favorites here is Gaussian Blur. So we're going to press on that, and we are going to blur the separate layers. So I'm going to go back to that first layer and I'm going to drag Gaussian blur like this, and you'll see it's creating a nice hue. So the more you spread it, the bigger the aura will be. So that's kind of entirely up to you. And then you're going to go to the next layer, you're going to go back to Gaussian blur, and you're going to drag it again. And there you go. You have a hue wallpaper. So you can finish here, you can add more to it, or you can go into this with this toolbox here and you hit share and you download it as a PNG, and then you can use it as your wallpaper. So let's make another fun design, and I'm going to provide a link to the wallpapers that we create in today's video if you want to use them as well. They're entirely free. So now we're going to do the same kind of concept, but this time we are going to just have one layer, and I'm going to just make a bunch of different colors, and then we're going to use the same tool. So I'm going to put pink around here, and you can make the brush size as big as you want. Okay, so it can literally look exactly like this. It can look like a complete mess. And we are going to go into Gaussian blur, and we are just going to drag it across like this. And you can see you have a fun, artsy wallpaper. It's that simple. So it doesn't need to look perfect. You just kind of add different colors how you like it. And that is Gaussian blur. We're gonna try a different tool now, and we're gonna kind of go back in similarly with our last one, but I'll show you how we're gonna do it. So this one is going to be similar to our first one. I want to create a fun background color, and because we've been going pretty strong with this pink, I'm going to kind of keep the theme going with the pink, but you can obviously, whatever color you would like, you do. And then I am going to, with this layer, go in with that same kind of pink over top, and we are going to fill that. And then we are going to go into our tools, and we are going to hit liquefy, and see here you can put twirl left, flinch, expand, whatever you want. We are going to do a twirl, and I'm just going to hold down on this. I'm just going to hold down on that circle, and you are making a twirl. So you can kind of play around, you can hold different sides of it and create a funky kind of wallpaper, but that obviously is up to you. I just think this tool is really awesome because it makes it nice and fun. And it's something unique and different. So yeah, that's that. And then you can even go back in with Gaussian blur if you want and drag it across, make it kind of more like a fun swirl, like ice cream, or however you want to do it. So that is that. So it is that easy, you guys. As I said, you can create these wallpapers in under 10 minutes, and you can even sell them, or you can give these things away as freebies. But when you own a digital product shop, it's fun to kind of give away little freebies as well. And also you can just use this for your personal use. I make wallpapers all the time, and I use them on my iPad, and I absolutely love it. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you love this video, and I'll be back with more. I have some more digital product tutorials coming, so definitely stay tuned for that. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe. I'm happy to have each and every one of you here, and every subscriber takes me closer to my goals. So happy creating, and have a great weekend.